In this lesson, you will continue to explore social skills. In the last session, you learned about giving feedback, a skill that will help you get along with others either individually or in a group. Who remembers the step of the skill giving feedback?
Yes, it was decide if you want to provide objective information to somebody about his or her behavior, thoughts, or feelings. Decide what kind of information you wish to provide. Think about different ways to give the information and pick one. Pick the right time and place to give feedback, and then give the other person the information in an objective manner.
Thank you. Your homework was to practice using giving feedback skill. Take out your homework reports and let's quickly review. Tell us about practicing the skill, when you did the skill, where and with whom. Describe specifically what you did to follow each of the steps of the skill. Tell us another situation where you will use the skill. Thank you. Today you will learn another skill to use when getting along with others, either individually or in a group. The skill is knowing your feelings. What does knowing your feelings mean to you?
Being able to identify a feeling that doesn't belong.
Okay.
Tune into what's going on inside that makes us want to act a certain way.
Great. Is there anything else? Okay, good. Knowing your feeling is defined as a step you use to tune into what's going on inside that makes you think or act in a certain way. Can someone read me the slide with definition? Knowing your feelings. Go ahead, Tom.
Steps we use to tune into what is going on inside of us that make us think or act in a certain way.
Let's take a minute to review some information about feelings, as Mr. Budd is going to pass out a feelings sign. So as he hands these out, I want you to look through there and see if there's any of those feelings that you may recognize with. Is there anyone wants to share that they recognize with one of those feelings? Go ahead.
Disappointed.
Okay. Is there anybody else? Okay.
Optimistic.
Okay, thank you. We will have an opportunity to talk more about what knowing your feelings means to you in a little bit. But right now, let's review the skill steps. Then, Mr. Budd and I will do a brief vignette that shows you the steps of the skill Knowing Your Feelings. After you've had a chance to watch us model this for you, you will talk about times when you may have, when you may have to or wanted to use the skill in the near future. Then you will have a chance to try it out in class. Remember last week we talked about how every skill is made up of a number of steps. Each of the steps is either a thinking step or an action step. What was a thinking step about?
Thinking step happens when it's inside your head, but nobody else can see it.
Okay, very good, thank you. What are you supposed to do during a thinking step?
Put your hand on your temple and then say it out loud.
Okay. And the second type, the action step, what about that?
When you can see what somebody's doing.
Okay, thank you. Would Dawn read me step 1 of the skill and tell us if that is a thinking step or an action step?
Tune into what is going on in your body that helps you know what you are feeling. That would be a thinking step.
Thank you. Would Jessica read step 2 and tell us if it is a thinking step or an action step?
Decide what happened to make you feel that way. And that is a thinking step.
Thank you. And then would Amanda please read step 3 and tell us if it is a thinking step or an action step?
Decide what you could call the feeling. Thinking.
Thank you. What questions do you have up to this point about the steps of the skill of knowing your feelings? Here's a card that lists the steps of the skill. You will use it later to help you in practicing the skill. Now, Mr. Budd and I will model the skill for you. Here's the situation. My cellmate just falsely accused me of taking his stash of candy, and I want to punch him in the mouth. I have a vague, intense emotion which I need to identify. It's probably anger. My face is flushed, and my fists are clenched. My stomach is all jittery.
Stephanie, I know you took my M&Ms. They were on the desk and I know you took them.
So I'm going to tune in to what's going on in your body that helps me know what I'm feeling. I'm getting jittery, my fists are clenched, and I have this intense emotion coming over me. Decide what happened to make you feel that way. My roommate's accusing me falsely of taking his candy. And then I need to decide what I would call that feeling. I think I want to call that feeling anger. In step 1, did I tune into what was going on in my body to help myself know what I was feeling?
Yes.
What evidence did you see or hear?
You listed that you were getting a sick stomach, that you were clenching your fists, and that you had an intense feeling of anger.
And jitter.
Thank you. In step 2, did I decide what happened to make myself feel that way?
Yes.
And what evidence did you see of that?
You talked about being falsely accused of taking your cellmate's candy.
And then did I decide what I could call the feeling in step 3?
Called it anger.
And what feeling or feelings did I name?
Anger.
Thank you. Now that you have modeled the skill, what is the current or immediate future situation in which you might use the skill? Think of something that is likely to occur before the next session. This is important because what you identify and roleplay here you will practice in your homework for the next session. Be as specific as possible. Include the current or immediate future situation, with whom you'll practice the skill, when you would practice it, specific time and day, where you could practice it, specific location.